Hello friends! Today I bring you a journey that's taken an unexpected turn. Finally, the war is over. Yes, you heard that right. President Donald Trump has announced a ceasefire between Israel, Iran, and the United States, and that's great news for the region. But how did we get here? What led to this moment of relief? Let's take you through the events that brought us to this ceasefire and what it means for all of us. The ceasefire, as Trump declared, comes with clear rules. It starts with Iran initiating a 12-hour ceasefire at midnight Eastern Time tonight, June 23, 2025. During this time, Israel is expected to remain peaceful and respectful. Then, after 12 hours, Israel will begin its own 12-hour ceasefire. By the 24th hour, if all goes as planned, the war, now called the 12-Day War, will officially end, saluted by the world. This phased approach gives both sides time to wind down their final operations, a step toward de-escalation that many hope will hold. But let's rewind to understand what triggered this ceasefire. It all began on June 12, 2025, when Israel launched a series of airstrikes on Iran, targeting military and nuclear sites in what they called a preemptive move. Iran responded with missile and drone attacks on Israel, escalating tensions over the days that followed. Then, on June 21st, the United States entered the conflict, striking 3 of Iran's key nuclear facilities with advanced bunker-busting bombs. The aim, according to Washington, was to address concerns about Iran's nuclear program. Iran, in turn, retaliated with a bold move, targeting Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, America's largest foreign military installation in the Middle East, in the early hours of June 23rd. Al Udeid isn't just any base. Built in 1996 with Qatar's support, it hosts over 10,000 personnel, long-range bombers, and CENTCOM's forward headquarters. It's been a hub for operations in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, and Yemen. When Iran struck, missiles and drones targeted specific sections, causing what US officials described as minor damage, though unverified videos and satellite images show scorch marks and disrupted activity. Reports suggest 2 personnel might have been injured, and parts of the base saw temporary evacuations. Iran's state media called it a calibrated response, a message to show its reach and resolve. Qatar, caught in the middle, condemned the attack but worked quickly with its defenses to limit harm. No casualties were reported, a sign of coordination that surprised many. This strike put Qatar in a tough spot. Known for mediating peace, like with the Taliban, Qatar has maintained pragmatic ties with Iran, especially during the 2017 Gulf blockade when Iran offered support. Hosting US troops while balancing this relationship, Doha now faces pressure. Will it lean toward Washington or seek to preserve its regional diplomacy? The attack on Al Udeid, a first in its history, wasn't random. It targeted a symbol of American influence, sending a message across the region. The escalation didn't stop there. Israel continued strikes, Iran fired back, and the cycle threatened to spiral. Then, on June 23rd, Trump announced the ceasefire, brokered with help from Qatar's leaders after intense talks. Neither Israel nor Iran has fully confirmed it yet, but the move follows US strikes on Iran's nuclear sites like Fordow, buried 300 feet underground, which some say withstood significant damage, though its program wasn't fully crippled. This back and forth bruised both sides, cracking the aura of invincibility around bases like Al Udeid. So, what does this mean? This isn't just about missiles or air bases. It's a regional power game where deterrence is tested. For Iran, it's about showing strength to its people and allies. For the US and Israel, it's a reminder that even fortified outposts can be reached. And for Qatar, it's a delicate balancing act. The ceasefire offers hope, but it's fragile. Will the US escalate further? Will Iran push back? Or will global powers step in to stabilize things? The ceasefire is announced. But what now? Ceasefires offer hope, but also raise difficult questions. In this case, the guns may fall silent, but the mistrust between the players remains strong. Israel, Iran, and the United States have all suffered reputational and strategic setbacks during this short but intense conflict. The question now is whether the ceasefire will lead to long-term de-escalation or simply pause the cycle until the next round. For Iran, the attacks on its nuclear facilities are a serious concern, not just for security, but for national pride. While the extent of the damage is still unclear, the decision to respond directly, including the strike on Al Udeid Air Base, signals a shift in strategy. Tehran may seek to project deterrence while avoiding full-scale escalation. Internally, Iranian leaders will now be weighing public expectations, regional alliances, and economic pressures. Israel, on the other hand, faces its own challenges. The strikes it launched were intended to prevent a potential threat, but they triggered a regional response that even its advanced defense systems couldn't fully contain. For Israeli leadership, this ceasefire must now be balanced with domestic political pressures and a need to maintain military credibility. As for the United States, its involvement has drawn both support and criticism. The strikes on Iran's nuclear infrastructure sent a clear message, but they also exposed vulnerabilities, especially when Al Udeid, a key American asset in the Gulf, came under fire. The US now finds itself navigating complex alliances and heightened tensions, with global attention focused on whether Washington can lead toward stability or further instability. Beyond these three nations, the region is watching closely. Countries like Qatar, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE understand the risks of prolonged conflict and the opportunities peace might bring. Diplomacy, if it's to work, will require more than ceasefires. It will demand sustained dialogue, mutual recognition of red lines, and an understanding that no one nation can dictate the terms of peace alone. So, will the ceasefire hold? That depends not only on missiles and military decisions, but also on restraint, political will, and the readiness to choose a different path forward. Friends, this journey of conflict and resolution is far from over. It's about how the world defines power and sovereignty in our time, and who pays the price. What are your thoughts? Share them in the comments, and let's keep this conversation going. Until next time, stay safe and stay informed. Goodbye.